Your body will never be the same if you do these 6 quick stretches every morning. Have you ever felt that your day starts off wrong as soon as you get out of bed? That back pain or enormous stiffness in your neck? The fact is that in today's modern world, we live trapped in chairs. 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day sitting. I don't need to tell you that our bodies weren't designed for this constant immobility. With each hour we spend hunched over a computer or smartphone, our muscles shorten, our joints become stiff, and our posture silently deteriorates. Without intervention, this tension simply builds up throughout the day. That's why in this video, you'll see the only 6 stretches strategically selected to target the most common points of tension and restriction, releasing your muscles, improving blood circulation, and relieving pressure on your joints. And the best part? You won't need equipment, just your body, your breath, and a short routine that awakens everything. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and which city you're watching this video from. Stretch 6. Lunge with rotation. This movement combines a traditional lunge with a trunk rotation, simultaneously targeting your quadriceps, hip flexors, glutes, core, and thoracic spine. It's particularly effective for those who spend a lot of time sitting, as it releases shortened hip flexors while mobilizing the spine in a rotational movement that we rarely use in everyday life. Research published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science in 2022 demonstrated that the combination of lunges with rotation increased thoracic spine mobility by 23% after just 4 weeks of regular practice. This is significant because stiffness in the thoracic spine is directly related to problems in the lumbar and cervical regions. To execute correctly, start standing with your feet parallel at shoulder width. Take a large step forward with your right foot, bending your right knee until it forms a 90-degree angle, keeping the knee aligned with your ankle. The left knee should almost touch the floor. Keep your torso upright and your core engaged. Now, slowly rotate your trunk to the right, extending your left arm out and up, while your right arm can rest gently on your right thigh for stability. Look over your right shoulder while keeping your hips pointing forward. Breathe deeply for 3 to 5 breaths, feeling the stretch deepen with each exhalation before returning to center and repeating on the other side. A common mistake is letting the front knee extend beyond the toe, which can put excessive pressure on the joint. Keep the weight distributed equally between the front and back of the front foot. Another mistake is curving your back during rotation. Keep your spine elongated as if a string were pulling the top of your head upward. And finally, don't force the rotation beyond comfort. Over time, you'll naturally gain more range. Perform this movement for 30 seconds on each side, totaling 1 minute. If you have extra time in the morning, a second set can amplify the benefits, especially for those suffering from chronic lower back pain. Stretch 5. Deep squat with rotation. The deep squat with rotation is an ancestral movement that our bodies were perfectly designed to perform, but which modern life has practically eliminated from our daily repertoire. This movement is not just a stretch, but a complete recalibration of the lower body structures combined with mobilization of the spine. When performed regularly, this exercise restores the natural mobility of the ankle, knee, and hip while strengthening deep stabilizing muscles. The addition of rotation brings an essential component of multiplanar movement, helping to lubricate the facet joints of the spine and mobilize the ribs and ribcage. A study from 2021 published in the International Journal of Sports Physical Therapy followed 156 individuals with chronic lower back pain who incorporated daily deep squats into their routine. After 8 weeks, 72% reported a reduction of at least 50% in pain intensity, with significant improvements in daily functionality. To perform this movement correctly, start standing with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width and toes pointing slightly outward. Slowly lower into a deep squat, keeping your heels on the floor and allowing your knees to move slightly apart. Ideally, you want to reach a position where your hips are below knee level, creating what experts call a third world squat, a natural resting position found in cultures where sitting on the floor is common. With your hands gently pressed against the inside of your knees to create space and stability, initiate a slow rotation to one side. Raise one arm and rotate your trunk, following the movement with your eyes. Feel how the spine unwinds, vertebra by vertebra. The most common mistakes include allowing the knees to collapse inward, which puts strain on the medial knee structures, lifting the heels off the floor, and excessively rounding the lumbar spine. If you have difficulty keeping your heels on the floor, you can start by placing something like a folded towel under them until you develop more ankle flexibility. Try to perform 3 rotations to each side, staying for 5 to 10 seconds in each position, totaling about 1 minute for the complete exercise. Stretch 4. Cat-cow. Cat-cow may seem simple at first glance, but it's one of the most effective movements for restoring segmental mobility of the spine. This dynamic stretch acts as an internal massage for the intervertebral discs, improving the nutrition of these discs through the rhythmic movement that alternates between flexion and extension of the spine. When practiced in the morning, cat-cow works as a warm-up for your body's hydraulic systems. The intervertebral discs, which lost fluid during sleep, which is why we are slightly shorter when we wake up, begin to rehydrate and expand with this movement. According to a study published in the Journal of Physical Therapy Science, participants who performed cat-cow daily for 6 weeks demonstrated an 18.5% increase in lumbar spine mobility and a 32% reduction in reports of morning back pain. The research suggests that this simple movement can be as effective as some more invasive treatments for certain types of lower back pain. To execute correctly, start with your hands and knees on the floor in a neutral position with hands directly below your shoulders and knees below your hips. As you inhale, allow your belly to sink toward the floor while you lift your chin and chest, arching your spine. Feel as if you're creating space between each vertebra. As you exhale, round your spine toward the ceiling, lowering your head and slightly contracting your abdomen. The secret is to initiate the movement from the tailbone and allow the wave of movement to travel vertebrae by vertebrae through the spine, reaching the head last. A common mistake is performing the movement too quickly or mechanically. Think quality over quantity. Each cat-cow cycle should last at least 5 to 6 seconds, allowing you to really feel each segment of the spine moving individually. Another mistake is keeping the shoulders tense or elevated. Keep them relaxed and away from your ears. For those with acute knee pain, this movement can be adapted by placing a cushion under the knees or even performing a seated version in a chair where you alternately arch and round the spine. Remember that cat-cow is not just about physical movement. It's also an exercise in body awareness. Try to notice which sections of your spine move easily and which seem stiffer. Over time, you'll feel how these frozen areas begin to awaken again. Perform 8 to 10 complete cat-cow cycles, taking approximately 1 minute. Try to synchronize each movement with your breath, creating a meditative rhythm that not only mobilizes your spine, but also calms your nervous system for the day ahead. Before we continue to stretch number 3, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will make you progress in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Stretch 3. Child's Pose. Inspired by ancient yoga practices, this simple movement offers a deep stretch for the entire posterior chain of the body, from the toes to the top of the head, while providing a moment of introspection and calm. This stretch primarily focuses on releasing the thoracolumbar fascia, a layer of connective tissue that surrounds the back muscles and connects to the glutes and hamstrings. When tense, this fascia can be a significant source of lower back pain and movement restriction. Child's Pose also gently stretches the quadriceps, hip flexors, and shoulder muscles, while allowing a slight traction of the spine. A study published in the International Journal of Yoga Therapy followed 87 patients with chronic lower back pain who incorporated Child's Pose into their daily routine. After 3 months, 76% reported a significant improvement in morning pain levels, and imaging exams in a subgroup revealed an average increase of 7% in intervertebral space, suggesting effective decompression of the spine. To perform Child's Pose correctly, kneel on the floor with your toes together and knees separated approximately at hip width. Sit on your heels and then lean your trunk forward, extending your arms in front of you or letting them rest alongside your body, with your forehead gently touching the floor. Allow your chest to rest between your knees and your shoulders to relax toward the floor. Maintain Child's Pose for 45 to 60 seconds, breathing deeply. If time permits, This is a great stretch to return to at the end of your routine, staying for an additional 30 seconds to consolidate all the benefits of the previous exercises. Breathing plays a crucial role in this stretch. With each inhalation, visualize oxygen flowing to areas of tension in your back. With each exhalation, allow your body to sink a little deeper into the stretch, releasing accumulated tension in the spine, shoulders, and hips. Common mistakes include keeping the glutes elevated instead of resting on the heels, which diminishes the stretch of the posterior chain, or forcing the forehead against the floor when the body doesn't yet have enough flexibility. If you have difficulty reaching the floor with your forehead, simply place a cushion or yoga block under your head for support. For people with knee problems, a useful adaptation is to place a folded towel in the posterior fold of the knees before leaning into position. Those with very tense shoulders may prefer the variation with arms alongside the body instead of extended forward. Stretch 2. Piriformis Stretch. The piriformis stretch addresses one of the most underdiagnosed and frequent problems today: piriformis syndrome. This small muscle, located deep in the gluteal region, has a crucial function in pelvic stability and hip rotation. However, long periods of sitting and lack of proper movement can cause this muscle to become chronically tense and shortened. What makes the piriformis especially problematic is its proximity to the sciatic nerve. When tense or inflamed, it can compress this important nerve, causing pain that radiates down the back of the leg, a symptom often confused with other types of sciatica. A 2023 study from the University of Melbourne found that approximately 13% of sciatic pain cases are actually caused by piriformis syndrome, and this number rises to 26% among people who work in offices. To perform this stretch, lie on your back and cross your right ankle over your left knee, creating a figure resembling the number 4. Gently hold behind your left thigh and pull toward your chest until you feel a deep but comfortable stretch in the right gluteal region. It's crucial to keep both sides of the pelvis level on the floor. Many people unconsciously elevate one side, which compromises the effectiveness of the stretch and can create imbalances. Maintain the piriformis stretch for 30 to 45 seconds on each side, totaling about 1 minute to 1 minute and 30 seconds for the complete exercise. For optimal results, try to perform this stretch again at the end of the day, especially if you spend many hours sitting. Common mistakes include pulling the knee directly instead of the back of the thigh, which can stress the knee joint, or keeping the head elevated, which unnecessarily activates the neck muscles and prevents complete relaxation. It's also important not to force the stretch excessively. You should feel moderate tension, never sharp pain or a burning sensation. Breathing during this stretch is fundamental. Inhale deeply through your nose, expanding your abdomen, and on the exhalation through your mouth, allow your body to deepen a little more into the stretch. This breathing technique activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which reduces muscle tension and allows more effective stretching. For people with reduced mobility, this stretch can be modified by performing it sitting in a chair or on the edge of the bed. Simply cross one ankle over the opposite knee and lean forward from the hips until you feel the stretch. Stretch 1. Bridge and reach over. The bridge and reach over is a dynamic stretch that directly combats the negative effects of modern sedentary life. This multi-dimensional movement not only mobilizes the spine in multiple planes, but also activates the glutes, often dormant due to excessive sitting time, while providing a deep stretch for the lateral chain of the body. The biomechanics of this exercise are particularly interesting. When you elevate your hips in bridge position, you activate the gluteal and hamstring muscles, which are fundamental for proper posture. Researchers at Harvard University found that regular activation of the glutes can reduce the incidence of lower back pain by up to 30%, as these muscles function as natural stabilizers of the pelvis and lumbar spine. By adding the lateral reach component over the body, you create a diagonal stretch that mobilizes the intercostal spaces and thoracolumbar fascia, structures often neglected in traditional stretching routines. A study published in 2022 in the Journal of Bodywork and Movement Therapies demonstrated that movements combining spine extension with controlled rotation can increase rib cage mobility by up to 17% after just 3 weeks of regular practice. To execute correctly, lie on your back with your knees bent and feet supported on the floor at hip width. Press your feet against the floor and elevate your hips, creating a straight line from shoulder to knee. Maintain this position and extend one arm over your body toward the opposite side, allowing a slight rotation of the trunk, but keeping your hips level and elevated. You should feel a deep stretch that extends from the side of your neck through your shoulder and ribs to your hip. The ideal time to maintain each side is 15 to 20 seconds, performing 2 repetitions for each side, totaling approximately 1 minute to 1 minute and 30 seconds for the complete exercise. Common mistakes include letting the hips drop during the lateral reach, hyperextending the lumbar spine by excessively arching the back, or not allowing adequate trunk rotation during the reach. Remember that the quality of movement is more important than range. It's better to maintain a stable bridge with a smaller reach than to compromise form to extend the arm farther. These 6 stretches form a powerful sequence that addresses the main points of tension and restriction in the modern body. And if you want to strengthen your body even more, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen, showing the best exercise you can do for each muscle group. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.